Hey folks, it's Nick Granville here. Just a look at the new pedal from Red Witch. These guys make fantastic stuff. They're made here in little old New Zealand, you know, a little island in the Pacific by a good friend of mine, Ben Fulton, a very talented guy. Here we have the Red Witch Seraphina. It's a pretty simple kind of pedal. This one is number 5. They're only making 100 of these, I believe, in the first run, and there's possibility for another 100 afterwards, but after that, it's gone. That's all you get. Now, the first thing I'll talk about is with fuzz pedals is a lot of them will sound similar when you play up high, but it's down low that is where you really notice the difference. And the first thing I was struck with this pedal is how articulate it is when you play down low. I'll show you an example. So we have that kind of tone up high, but then when I go down low, so you can hear out of that, it's still very articulate down low. And one of the first things that I always think of when I think of those low riffs is the kind of Jack Black thing, you know, that James Bond theme that he did a few years ago. That's one of the first riffs I think of when I think of a low riff with that fuzz sound, and this pedal nails that sound. It's in that ballpark of that kind of low fuzz riff thing that doesn't become muddy but has lots of drive and sustain and all of those things that are cool. Another one that comes to mind is a Pink Floyd tune called Sorrow. So I love that. That's really cool. Those are the things that I really look for in a fuzz pedal. Is what is it going to do in that low register? And this pedal really delivers in that area, I think. It's a pretty simple kind of pedal. You have 3 controls. You have a volume, a tone, and a gain. You have 2 switches. You have an engage switch and you have an octave switch. So I'll engage the octave now and show you what that sounds like. First thing I noticed about that was how articulate the octave is. Usually octave sounds in a fuzz pedal, the octave is not enough for what I want. Usually I want more of the octave, and this one actually delivers really well. Now octave sounds work really best on the neck pickup. So I love that sound. That's really cool. It's a vibe. You know what I mean? Hendrix used that sound, and lots of great players, and I really dig that. And I've just got most of the controls at 12 o'clock. I've got the volume up a little bit, just to kind of balance unity. At the moment, I'm playing through a Fender Deluxe style amp, Tweed Deluxe. This is made by the Victoria Amp Company. It's basically a clone of a 1959 Tweed Deluxe, and about as close as you can get. And I find sometimes fuzz pedals don't really work with a Tweed amp, because Tweed amps have all that kind of mid-range thing going on, and fuzz pedals can tend to just boom out, but this seems to hold together really nicely and works really well with this amp. And I've got the amp set pretty clean. So it's pretty clean, there's very little. I've just got a little bit of reverb, because the amp doesn't have reverb on it. I'm using a Hall of Fame for that, and I'm plugged into a tuner, because you've got to be in tune, right? Now, one thing with fuzz pedals that, for me, kind of tells the character of the pedal and what it's going to do is what it does when you adjust your volume control on your guitar. And you can get some really unique sounds by doing this. So again, I haven't touched the controls. They've all just stayed at the same place. Everything's about 12 o'clock, and then I've got the volume up a little bit just to balance. I'll add the octave in now, so you'll hear what that sounds like when I do the same thing. So this is the octave with the volume up full. Now the octave up with the volume down on 6. And down on about 4. And you can get some kind of interesting, almost sitar type sounds when you do that, especially if you find a bright pickup setting. Play down to the bridge. I dig that a lot. But I mean, for me, one of the sounds that I'm looking for is that David Gilmour sound from fuzz pedals. I mean, you just get that endless sustain thing that just, I love that about fuzz pedals. Very cool. And the tone really only works, so I should say the octave switch only works when the fuzz is engaged. You can't engage it by itself. You have a input for a regular 9-volt center negative plug, so very simple. I think the design looks amazing. It's really simple. It's classy. Would I recommend this pedal? Yes, I would. I have a thing with fuzz pedals. I've been through so many of them, and some I like and some I hate. And some are kind of I'm ambivalent about. Well, this one I really dig. I'm very, very tempted to put it on my pedal board because I dig it. And I get heaps of pedals. I've got a whole collection of pedals. So for them to make it on my board, they have to be pretty good and something that's going to suit the music that I play, which is all kinds of stuff, and be versatile. And I think this is kind of that. And it's unique. And I like things that are unique. And I think that's something that Red Witch do a lot. They do great pedals that are unique. So limited run of the Seraphina. Fantastic pedal. Check it out. Cheers.